beautiful people. Thanks a lot for coming. It's really fun to see all of you here. Most of them are my friends. They already know my story. They're here to support me, basically.
You're looking for my position.
But before, I will forget at the end. I want to thank Plug and Play, Mehrzad, Dr. Tabesh, and you, Sayjan, and everyone involved for having me here. I hope it's fun. And let's do it, as we said, do it faster and get to the question and answer. Yeah.
Okay, let's go from the beginning. Well,
sure.
I want to give them a preview. You worked on a company, Parabrics, for 4 or 5 years, and then you sold it to Nvidia for a humongous amount of money.
Very big.
Very big. So that is the validation that why people should listen. That's one of the reasons why people should listen to you. Another reason that they should listen to you is you have an unique life story in that you are an individual contributor, although you were in the ranks of management and you could go up there, but you decided not to. And also I would like to discuss how much luck was involved in your journey. Was it luck or was it preparation meeting the opportunity that came in? But having teased them about what we're going to get to, let's go back and say you were born in Iran. Tell us about you growing up in Iran. You went to school where?
Yeah, I was born in Karaj and grew up there. As you know, Tehran is a small city next to Karaj. It's a suburb of. I went there and I grew up there. Both my parents were math teacher, high school math teacher. And I have a older brother and older sister who really likes math. So I grew up in a house full of math books and people solving puzzles all the time. So that affects me a lot. So that's kind of my childhood.
Did you like math?
I did. Yeah, I did.
More than your brothers and sisters?
No, I don't think so, no.
Then
Then nothing happened. So I went and I studied. I went and studied to get into Maths Olympiad, Dr. Tabesh here. I tried my best to get there, I couldn't. And by accident, I got into Computer Olympiad, like Information Olympiad. And I went to the second stage, we went to the 3 months camp, whatever that's called, and I got the silver medal there. And during that 3 months, I learned algorithms, data structure, I learned coding.
How old were you?
16, 17, yeah. And that changed my life. From that point, I know how to code, and I used it during my career. And even though I went and studied electrical engineering, I wasn't a good electrical engineer. I was a good coder, but I never understood half of the courses.
So you understood the courses at Sharif. You went to Sharif.
I went to Sharif,
and
yes.
You had to take the concours.
Concours, yes.
What was your rank?
I knew it's gonna. So I was 58, I think. But I was in zone 2. I was from Karaj, it's a mandataire mahroum, and like I was basically DI. So like.
So what happened at Sharif? What did you do? You studied electrical engineering and you got your master's there too, or you?
No. I Tehran. I went to University of Tehran. I got my master still in EE. Electrical, yeah. I got my master there, and then I came to University of Michigan.
Why did you come to the University of Michigan, among all places?
I was working at that time, but then they couldn't pay me. They couldn't pay in Iran. Yeah. So I was poor, so I decided to continue my education at that time.
And why did you go to Michigan? Why not Stanford?
I didn't even apply. I said, okay, they never get me. So I applied to like 4 or 5 places, and I decided to go to University of Michigan, yeah.
And what happened there? You're still doing double E, or you moved into?
Computer engineering, yeah.
And what made you move? It was a certain professor with it. projects that
I have friends, and I knew the professor from before, yeah.
Okay. So where was your introduction to CUDA? Was it during your PhD program, or was it after that?
So, second day that I came to US, I went to the office to visit my advisor, and he started talking about this new way of accelerating applications, which is called CUDA. This is 2009, and CUDA came out end of 2007, 2008.
One second. How many people know what CUDA is? Okay, a fair number of them. For those of you who don't know, he will explain. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a lot. So CUDA is a way to program Nvidia graphics card. It's basically C++ with few keywords attached to it. It lets you express your program in what we call massively parallel way that works really fast on GPUs. You can write your code and run it really fast on these graphics cards. So that's the language that Nvidia made.
So I want to know whether Parabrick came first, or at what point in your life did you start thinking about a startup? That's what most of people in this room are struggling with.
Yeah, so
What made you successful?
I got my PhD was all about writing compilers for Nvidia graphics card. And now looking back, that was a good time there. That was a good investment. Like you heard all about Nvidia GPUs. But at that time, it wasn't that clear. We were working on weather forecasting or things like that. It wasn't that, like, the market wasn't that big. So I finished that, and I was thinking about joining a big company or starting a new company. And at that time, Angry Birds was really popular. Like, I don't know how many people remember Angry Birds. It was the first game. It was making millions of dollars in few weeks. And I was so psyched about it. I thought, okay, I'm going to make another Angry Bird. And then I have this wise classmate. We were in the same team. He told me, you don't know anything about making games. Why don't you do... Ankit, yeah, Ankit. So he told me that do something that you know. And all I knew at that point, how to write CUDA program, how to write a really good CUDA program. And we went to our advisor, and we started talking about, okay, we want to start a company about CUDA. And
you didn't know you want to accelerate what?
We didn't know what, we just...
Game, self-driving
anything, we didn't care. We just know that we have this hammer, we want to find a nail for it. So that's all.
Usually not a good sign.
It's not suggested, yeah. So we went to him, and we got introduced to this concept through NSF. It's called lean startup. The idea is before getting an office, before hiring a secretary, go figure out if someone buys your idea, if someone pays for your product. So we started customer discovery. I cold called around 1,000 people, and I talked with 100 people. And I asked them, like, do you need something to run faster? Do you need anything? Do you need any help from me? I can run stuff faster for you. Do you need that? And everyone wants it. Everyone wants to run things faster. Then I asked them, do you pay for it? And everyone said no. We never pay for this stuff. At the beginning, it was compiler, and everyone said compiler is free. No one paid for it. And as most of you know, compiler is free. No one pays for compiler these days. So we figured out, after 3 rounds of customer discovery, stop me whenever I'm going. Okay, good. So after 3 rounds of customer discovery, we find a few markets, like gaming, financial, and genomics. Gaming was Nvidia all over it. We couldn't do anything. Like, they didn't need our help. Nvidia was doing, because market was there. Gaming is Nvidia market. So we went to financial, and they said...
Hold on one second. Let me just interject. Gaming is Nvidia's market because they were focused on graphics.
Graphics, yeah.
Okay. They were focused on moving, a lot of matrix operations in parallel.
Yeah.
They haven't looked at other areas, such as genomics, which is coming up.
They did actually before us. Let me tell you about that. Then we went to financial. They told us go to talk with high frequency trading people. And we went to and we talked with them. They said, dude, we have 50 engineers and 40 instructions. These 50 engineers' job is to move these 40 instructions up and down one at a time and see if they can cut microseconds of it. And we couldn't do anything there. And we went to genomics. Nvidia tried to do genomics a few years before us, and they failed. Later, we figured out we made a couple of really good decisions, and GPU memory got bigger. So we could fit a human reference genome inside one GPU. And that was a big breakthrough that helps us being so.
Company or person that led you to that? Was it Nvidia or was somebody from outside that said genome projects require this very, very fast?
So during that customer discovery, I talked with many of these. So I made a video about this before. So that customer discovery gave us the idea and gave us our first customers. Basically, we asked people what do you need, and they said, okay, if you can accelerate this bioinformatics pipeline that I have, it's really important. And then when we accelerate that, we went back to them and sold the same product to them. So that was really interesting, yeah.
What was the product?
Parabrics product.
For what application?
Oh, okay, so when I get sick, I go to clinic, they take a blood sample, and then they put this blood sample into these giant machines called sequencers. And they're mostly made by Illumina. That's a big name in genomics. And that generates lots of, so if you look at human genome, it's 3 billion characters, ACGT, right? 3 billion bases. They generate short reads, basically 150 bases. And you don't know where in this 3 billion these 100 come from. It's like solving a jigsaw puzzle with billions of pieces, but you have a picture on the box. That reference genome that is made by spending billions of dollars is your picture on the box, and you have billions of these pieces that came out of the sequencer. And my job, my company's job, was to put together these pieces and make that big genome, and then find the differences between this patient-specific genome and the reference genome. And those differences are what we call mutations, variants. And then that can be a sign of disease, that can be a sign of disease in the future, stuff like that. SNPs, yeah. And when we started this computation, going from jigsaw, those reads all the way to SNPs, to mutations, took around 2 days on a big CPU server. And now I'm talking with you, it takes with Parabrics on Nvidia GPUs, we can do it sub 10 minutes, like around 8 minutes.
So other people have tried this at that time, but most of them, including our dear friend, I guess Daniel said, who was here a few months ago, they tried pure software solution for that.
Yeah.
They tried to do clever mathematical ways of trying to solve it. You had the advantage of doing it with hardware, which was just coming into maturation for your job.
Yeah, and actually Nargis paved the way for us. It's 1,000 times harder to make a new market than entering already semi-established market. So Nargis went to all these people and told them that you need acceleration. All I need to do was to tell them I can run it faster. And it's interesting. Around the same time, there was Parabrics, there was another company which was running faster on CPUs, and there was another company which was running faster on FPGAs. And all three of us competing at the same time.
So where was the 5 years that you worked in this company, where was the turning point for you to realize that you're facing a huge success? Was it when Nvidia came to you and said we are interested to acquire your company, or was it before that you were seeing the ramp?
So we saw the ramp up because of Nvidia. They weren't investors, but something else happened. So Nvidia headquarters didn't know. We were too small for them. They didn't even look at us. We kept trying to get their attention. They didn't give it to us. So what we ended up doing, we became friends with their sales team, with Nvidia's sales team. Those sales team want to sell GPUs to hospitals, clinics, research centers, and they didn't have the software. So they went there, they went to the hospital and said, okay, buy this GPU. And the doctor would say, like, what should I run on it? And then they told them, like, okay, buy the software from these guys. So what happened is, without having any salesperson, we got, I think, Japan in 1 year, we got Singapore, we got Thailand, and we basically worked with this sales team, and at that point, Nvidia realized that, okay, they're making some money in healthcare without having real solution to sell on the genomics side. And that's the point, that's what's the breaking point.
So they came and encouraged you to develop the solution for the genome? Was it Nvidia's collaboration with you, or was it when they took you in-house and paid for it?
So actually, they wanted us to give the software for free. Of course they wanted, because they could sell the GPUs. All my friends from Nvidia here, I shouldn't have said that, but they pushed us to make it free. Like, why don't you make it free? Like, do the Red Hat route, make it free and open source it and support it. Of course they like it, because their customers would buy GPUs immediately. Now they need to think, do I need hardware and software? Do I need to pay for both? But if it was free, then when they acquired us, they changed their mind. Like, why shouldn't we sell the software? Let's sell the software as well. But at the end of the day, we decided to make it free. But yeah, they didn't like extra software at that time. But what triggered them at the end, that's another funny story. So Illumina acquired our competitor, the one that runs on FPGA. And that's a scary moment. Illumina is a big company, and they're investing in FPGA, which means genomics might run on FPGA. So that's when Nvidia made a really smart decision to buy us. And now we are working with 100% of the market to use Parabrics for their sequencing.
Let's focus on the company that you built with your friend, Ankit.
Ankit, yeah.
And with the support of your professor at the university.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, when you sold it to Nvidia, you told me there were 10 people.
10, yeah.
So for 4 years with 10 people, you worked very hard and made it. What was your secret? What did you do right? Because everybody here wants to do it.
Technical or mentally?
Surprise me.
Okay, technical, we made some important decisions that at that time we didn't know they were that important, but now looking back, I can claim I was really smart. But one, we just limit our market to the servers with 2 GPUs. This seems random, 2 GPUs or more. This seems completely random, because, like, why don't you support people with 1 GPU in their server? It came out, it's easier when people who have 2 GPUs in their server, they have better server. They have more RAM, they have better CPU without us asking them. One thing, so it was easier, right, for that. But the more important thing is they have money that they could afford the server with 2 GPUs. And we didn't waste our time. We limit our market to those who have money. So that was one of the smart things. The other thing that we did is we didn't have bioinformatics background. So what we did, we replicate the tool that they were using exactly, bit by bit, but running much, much faster. So if the original tool that they're using crashed, we crashed too. Exactly the same. So this removed the friction to adopt. they can adopt easily. I just told them they didn't need to validate my result. They just need to run their old pipeline and my pipeline, and this runs 100 times faster, give the exact same result. We never claimed we are giving better result, better bioinformatics result than what you have. We just said we make it 100 times faster.
And what was the mental prowess that you had?
Having Ankit, because so starting a company is a roller coaster. Like the whole the time you're doing this, you feel, so morning you feel high, like everything, I'm gonna conquer the world. But by the night, some customer cancel their order and you feel like, okay, this is it, I'm done. I'm doomed, I wasted all my life. But for some reason, we never, these roller coasters, me and Ankit, weren't high at the same time or weren't low at the same time. We have some phase difference. Yeah. So at each point, if you look at it, one of us are depressed and the other one is high. So, but the high person keeps moving. So company always moving, although it was one person at the time, but it keeps moving ahead. So that was really helpful. That's why I'm suggesting everyone to have co-founder.
Yes. You have the advantage, well, it's not an advantage, you have this unique thing attached to your name that you're in the Guinness Book of World Records.
I do, yeah.
You know Guinness Book of World Record, everybody? You know, the fastest or whoever can eat so many hamburgers and all that. Yours is in a legitimate area.
Yeah. Eating the most hamburgers.
Did you?
Eating the most. Yeah, so it's so this is a funny story. No one cares I sold the company. No one cares I did this, I did that. When they hear that, okay, yeah, he's in Guinness record, everyone's like, oh, you did something great. So I was small part of big team, including Stanford, Google, Oxford Nanopore, and some other companies. What we did, we have the fastest sample to diagnosis time. So we took like 12 patients, and previous record was 14 hours. We reduced it to 7 hours. So for those 12 patients, we can reduce from getting the sample all the way to diagnosis done with the doctor in 7 hours. And that is really important for newborn babies with rare diseases. You have really short amount of time. And it's so I don't know exactly about those 12 patients, what happened to them, but they told me that one of them got heart transplant right in time, and they saved him. So I'm really proud of that. I keep saying that I was part of that. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, after you sold your company and you spent the requisite time of, I think, 4 years that you had to lead the team and be in the company, golden bracelet, you decided to become an individual contributor. That's what you do right now.
Yeah.
You have free time to learn about anything that you want. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
So yeah, we work 4 years to make Parabrics, as I said, like working with 100% of the market. We work really hard. I had a great team. And at some point, I realized that this is too good of a team. They didn't need me. And I was basically holding them back. I realized that, okay, it's time for me to move on to the next step. And I had two paths, basically going to the managerial route or going to individual contributor. And I talked with one of my friends, and he gave me a good advice. He said it doesn't matter. Like, it looks really good, become a VP or something. It looks really good. But the same things keeps happening, like people lay off, or they might close the company and stuff like that. Go where you feel the best most. Like, go where you feel appreciated. And I decided to go, I didn't want to manage only people. I want to have an impact. Like, I didn't want to talk about vacation and stuff. that's for me most of the managing time. So I decided to, and this deep learning revolution was happening, and I wanted to be part of it. So I started to learn that. So Nvidia was kind to me, and my manager was kind to me to let me switch and become pure deep learning researcher at this point.
There are so many interesting things about you that I would like to quote all of them. Unfortunately, we don't have time for all of them, but I want to go into that area that you're doing this. Well, first you did a few podcasts.
Yeah,
You
I'm a professional podcast guest at this point.
But that gave you an idea. I think that gave you an idea that you have created your own one-on-one slots of time. You're giving away your slots of time on Fridays.
Yes.
That's how I understand it. An hour at a time. Anybody can sign up, and they would have a one-on-one with you about anything they want. Which, when I heard, I said, "Can I sign up?" He said, "Well, I'm booked for the next 3 months." But tell me why you did that and what has come out of it so far.
Thanks a lot for bringing that up. Actually, I'm here for that reason. I said all of this to tell you this.
You promised me you'd give me a good slot if I mentioned it.
Yeah. So here what happened. I went to all these podcasts. Some of you saw some of them, and I became semi-famous. I became an influencer, whatever you want to call it. And people reach out to me, keep reaching out to me, and they want to talk with me. And you know this influencer market, right? People think that, okay, this guy influencer, he knows everything. I should contact him. That's the thing. And I wanted to give everyone some time, and I decided to put this calendar, but as I just said, the calendar is full. But I keep telling everyone there are way more qualified people in Beria, in Europe, everywhere that you need to reach out and talk with them. And don't just contact someone who see on YouTube. Like, go search for them and contact them. And I keep talking about cold calling with people. I keep talking with them. And I know there are many more qualified in this room right now to talk with those people, to talk with 17 years old girl who is contacting you from some rural village around Kashan, and she wants to know what happens with AI. I beg all of you to spend some time, to allocate some time on your LinkedIn and whatever you can to talk with people. And answer those cold calls, please. Like, I sent them your way, so please answer those and talk with them. Last year, I think I talked with 400 people, more than 400 people, and I enjoyed not all of them, but 99% of them. And it was really fun. I learned a lot, and I'm pretty sure you will enjoy it too.
Tell us about a few of the nuggets that you learned or encountered during these 400 interviews.
So this girl contacted me from the village, and she's amazing. I will bring her to one of the podcasts soon. So she's setting up this venture studio. Basically, she has all these startups. One of them is just cooking food. Mom's cooking food, and she delivers them. She's supporting them. She makes website for them. She funds them. And the other one, she makes all these toys and sell it in schools. And there are like really young, like elementary school students come to her office, and they make these toys and go and sell to their classmates. And that's how they learn business and stuff like that.
Budding entrepreneur. So what did she want from you, or what did you contribute to her?
She was asking about how to run startup, what ideas I have, stuff like that. Yeah.
That's a very convenient lead into my next one. Everybody, well, almost everybody here wants to run a startup. What is your advice for people? What do you see the future for the people who would like to get into, some of the known industries, data science, genomics, et cetera, What is the future that you see for them for the next 5 years, and what are the do's and don'ts that you would advise them?
That's really hard question. Like, it's
So far you've been
Oh,
feedback.
so I would say knowing the market would be the first one. This cold calling, this customer discovery helped me a lot. And unless you're making a Facebook, which no one knows what it is at that point, probably you need to talk with your customers and see if they're gonna pay for it. That's really important one. And don't ignore deep learning. Don't ignore deep learning. Yeah.
What is your view of AI? Is it not going to be self-sufficient, providing everybody has learned deep learning? Because one AI program can do the job of 250 people programming.
One person with AI can do job of 250 people. And I don't think we're gonna replace that. So we're still gonna coexist for some time. And after that, they will,
How long?
5 years?
5 years.
That's a long time at this scale, right? 5 years.
Well, I don't know. Other people's opinion might be different, and that's when we enter the question. I would like to open the floor for some of the brilliant minds to ask you some questions. Please raise your hand if you want to ask a question. We're going to go to Bonnie first, formerly known as Nima.
Hi, thank you, Mehrzad. My name is Mani. It's a hard question for me, every day I'm in one business. Today I'm in real estate. Today morning I have 2 hours training, so I can say I'm in real estate right now. Tomorrow is another day. So Mehrzad, I have a question. I think you are so much spiritual, yeah? Are you spiritual?
In what sense? Spiritual.
I mean, for
As
example,
a religious person, no.
no, I mean, do you go with the flow, for example? Because when you explain about what you are doing, you don't know what is the next step.
Oh, I'm not perfectionist, if that's what you're asking. I do my best, basically. And that saved my life many times. And that's one of the things that I've seen in people when I talk with them. They're all, I don't know if it's culture or I haven't talked with many outside Iranian community, but we are perfectionists, and that's not good. We need to do our best and keep going, and that's what I keep telling everyone. If that's, probably that's what you get, yeah, not a spiritual.
Anybody else has a question? Okay, over here. Please raise your hand so I know for the next question. You have one?
Hi, my name is Erdogan and I'm a system architect at Cisco System Wireless. So I have a specific question about running the generative AI, specifically LLMs on the edge devices. I know most of the vendors and silicon companies are now either having already or will have NPUs in their platforms. Do you see in terms of the startup, industry and market is going to be big in this area? Is it too late to get into that field, that area, or too soon? What do you think about that?
Running LLM on
the phone, on the edge devices, instead of,
this.
Everyone is talking about cloud at the moment.
No. This is huge. Like all the robotics stuff, and imagine having all this smaller and smaller and smaller. Robotics is the future. That's like we passed text, image, video, and we are getting into robotics, and that's everyone's eyes are now. And making it smaller, making it edge is a big next breakthrough. And yeah, tomorrow is late, but now it's a good time. Yeah.
Hi everyone. My name is Reza. I have a startup, aerospace. So my question is, back to the big spiritual. What helped you keep going? Either hardball or for a while you were out of idea or those hard days. What helped you keep going?
I had people to pay. That was the main thing. Like it was too late to fail at that point. There was I had this moment that I had 1 month of salary in my bank, and one of my employees came to me and he invited me to his wedding next month. And I was thinking, like, what the hell? Like, I don't know if you have a job in the next month. Like, don't get married. I didn't tell him. But that was a hard moment. Like, that makes me keep going. And yeah, like, and besides that, we were helping people to save lives. And we saw some of those, so it was really motivating.
Hi, my name is Amir. I'm a data scientist and an entrepreneur. I want to ask you about your, have you ever had a dispute with your co-founder? How did you solve it? And the second thing is, when did you decide to be full-time? When did you decide to fully dedicate yourself and go on?
So we did have fights, but never big one. We stopped talking with each other for a day after each fight, and then we come back. But we never had a really big fight. But when I got my first money, it was a grant. It was an NSF grant. I switched immediately. Yeah. No. It's phase 1, 250K. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Yasmin and I'm working in data science and Walmart. So I'm sure actually that in your career you have made a lot of great decisions, like doing your PhD, like starting your own company. But if you were to choose one, what do you think would have been the best decision that you have ever made in your career?
Best decision, I think learn coding. Like that changed everything. I wasn't interested, or honestly, in the rest of the courses that I took, but coding saved me. And it was just right timing. It was luck, basically. But yeah, I would say coding.
Mehrzad, I'm Reza. I'm an optical engineer at Amazon. Thank you for sharing a very insightful, cool story of life. That's so amazing.
Sure.
So what's the next steps? Any reason why you're not starting any startups, given that you're working on the edge and
Yeah, so I'm thinking, I was thinking of new ideas. I'm helping entrepreneurs. I'm advising some startups. If I find a good idea, market is super noisy for me at this point. I'm trying to figure out what is the right next move. But yeah, I'm looking for it. I shouldn't have said that. I'm working. I have a full time. Yeah. Hey.
Great talk. Really done well. My name is Hassan. I'm a data scientist. I have done an e-commerce startup before, and I'm working on the second one right now. My question is, at what point is a good time to start monetizing? Because one strategy for the early stage startup is just give the product out for free and just get the feedback from the customers. Is that a good strategy? Just give it for free, and basically what point, at what price is a good idea to monetize?
So monetize earlier the better, I would say. But it depends on the startup. It's not a general advice for everyone. But you know what is the best sign that I can see is not free, paid trials. That's amazing. If you see those paid trials, they pay a little bit. They pay like $100. Like you know why I'm saying that? If you are like B2B type of companies, if you get $100 from any business, going from that 100 to 20,000 is much easier than the first 100, because you need to go through their whole system, learn how they work, how they write checks. That's a challenge by itself. If you get that $100, means they are invested.
Hello, my name is Ryan. I'm a senior in college, and I'm just studying into robotics. I was wondering if you had any advice for someone just getting into the field, and like why you think robotics is the future.
So I reach out by many parents for their young generations, like young children, what's your advice? Robotics is great, what you're doing is great, but what I want you to do is keep your eyes open and love the learning process. If you get excited by learning, you'll have a bright future ahead of you. And the thing is, things are changing really fast. Like right now, robotics is really fun and exciting. 2 years, 3 years, it might not be. But as long as you are learning that fast, as long as you enjoy learning, you will be on top of it. So I don't have any suggestion for robotics at this point for you. You are doing great. You are in the hot topic, but just know that your hot topic might not be hot 2 years from now. And you should be able to be flexible. That's what is important. Like, we used to be a carpenter for several generations, right? Grandparent, parent, child. And then we become electrical engineer for one generation, then computer engineer for half a generation. Now my job change every 4 years. And I'm guessing your job will change every 1 year, every year or something like that. So be ready for that. Be flexible and enjoy learning new things. Say.
So question one, I really love to hear, how did you go from loving the code to building compilers? So you're really young, curious to code the process. And second is, what's your plan for when you get replaced by AI?
So for second question, I'm doing my best to make sure that happens. Like I'm in the coding team. We are trying to make LLMs that code really good, code better than us. So I'm doing my best myself. About the first question is, it happened basically. I apply at that time. Like when you apply, you just look at the professor and you look at the. And I got into compiler team. I did compiler, but mostly I was learning this CUDA, GPU programming, and stuff like that. But compiler is really hard. Like I appreciate anyone doing compiler. That's a hard topic.
Last question goes to.
Hi, I'm Zara. I'm an ophthalmology researcher from Stanford. One question, you mentioned that you follow like new methodology. Kind of like comparing the deep tech kind of like wave that's coming. Do you think lean methodology would work as well for these deep tech startups with like longer cycles, scientific like approach, or do you think there should be like new methodology for startup development, customer discovery?
So it depends on what startup. The lean methodology is really good for some type of startups. Some like mine, like deep technology, B2B, which takes time. But if you're working on new deep learning agent, deep learning chatbot or something like that, which you can make the product really fast. It takes you 1 month to do it. Going to the market and be the first to the market, that makes more sense than talking with people. Just put it out there and see who buys it, who start using it. So it really depends on the idea. Sometimes lean startup works, sometimes not. You shouldn't wait. You just need to ship it.
Very good. Thank you very much. Mehrzad, thank you very much for making the time to be with us and to answer all these questions. On behalf of the Persian Tech Network, Plug and Play, the AmidiGroup, and the Persian community, I would like to appreciate your presence over here. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.